Welcome to the 2025 Canadian Music Hall of Fame ceremony, presented by Music Canada. Please welcome Paul Brandt.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Everyone doing okay? This is gonna be a good night. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, welcome to the Canadian Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Music Canada on behalf of Canada's major labels. Let's hear it for Canadian music, shall we? Come on. You can do better. Let's hear it for Canadian music now. Come on. Okay. Settle down now. This is serious. It's a fancy event. I know you're wondering, why did they invite you then, Paul? But I'm really grateful that they did. So thankful to be sharing the stage with these incredible musicians and everyone who came here tonight. Knowing that I was going to be here tonight, I've been reflecting on what a long, strange, sometimes spiritual journey a life in music is. It's often months of the road on the year. There's always something special about getting the chance to come home. My song, Alberta Bound, is all about that feeling, and it's great to have the chance to play to, oh, you know that one. Oh, great, well, thank you. It's great to play to the hometown crowd. It's extra special to be recognized and appreciated in your own country and by your fellow Canadians. Any award, yes. Any award or recognition is wonderful, but there's one award that goes only to a special few, and that's being inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. And tonight, 6 more names are being added to that list of all-time greats. Though their music crosses eras and genres, they have a lot in common as artists. They've spent millions of hours dedicating themselves to their craft. They've overcome challenges. They've adapted to the music industry without sacrificing their authenticity. That's an important word. Authenticity. You might write a hit song by sticking to a formula, but you sure don't get it to the Hall of Fame. And of course, they're all Canadian. So, ready to do this? Let's bring out our inductees. The rhythmic swagger of his beats and lyrics made him a major force in the growth of Canadian hip-hop. Please welcome Maestro Fresh Wes. Their power chords, rampaging beats, and rebelliousness defined Canadian punk for a generation. Please welcome Sum 41. His timeless songs and lyrics speak to the tenacity of the human spirit. Please welcome Dan Hill. Her songs are moonlight magic, weaving their spell over decades. Please welcome Loreena McKennitt. Her music and life celebrate independence and fearlessness. Please welcome the great Ginette Reno. Now buckle up, these fellas prove that even sad songs can make you dance and feel good. They're one of the most enduring bands in rock and roll. Please welcome Glass Tiger. All right, thanks guys. Oh man, so as we gather here today, I'd like to start off in a good way and respectfully recognize and acknowledge the relationship that the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people across Canada have with the land and all Canadians are living on and enjoy. We are in Alberta, which is on Treaty 6, 7, and 8 lands, and we pay respects to the histories and the language and the cultures of the First Nations, the Métis and Inuit, and the First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. And now, I'd like to bring to the stage Mackenzie Kamamuk Brown. Mackenzie is a multidisciplinary artist from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation. Currently residing in Mohkinstsis in Treaty 7 territory, she is an award-winning drummer, singer, and painter whose work has been recognized across the country and internationally. Please give her a warm welcome.
Tansegakiao, and welcome to a magical evening of music. Kamamak Mackenzie Brown Nitsigason, Nimiwi Sagahiganek Ochinia. My name is Mackenzie, and I hail from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, but I'm happy to make Mohkinstsis in Treaty 7 territory my home. Now, more than ever, we need to support the amazing industry that we have and celebrate our amazing Canadian musicians. So I wanted to say congratulations to all of the inductees that we are celebrating tonight. To start things off, I would like to begin with an opening song called Tahtawao, which means welcome. This is to acknowledge the lands on which we are gathering, Treaty 7 territory. I humbly acknowledge the Blackfoot, Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda Nations, and the Otipemisiwak Métis people for their stewardship of the land so that we can gather and celebrate tonight. Everybody, have a fantastic evening tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. She is a singular talent and an artist that we definitely should be keeping an eye on. Thank you so much for that. I can't think of a nicer way to begin these honors than with our first presenter. One of Canada's songwriting treasures. I've had the privilege of touring with her in the past. Please give a big Calgary welcome to singer, songwriter, and television personality, Beverley Mahood.
Thank you so much. All right, I am so honored tonight to be inducting a world-class person, a wonderful friend, a guy who loves his family, and a Canadian music icon, the incredible Dan Hill. Yeah. All right, so Dan, with his usual humility and humor, best describes his rise to success. All right, so he recalls his Toronto high school had two types of guys, the jocks and the nerds. His words, not mine. All right, his words, not mine. Now, the girls focused on the jocks, which Dan explains was fortunate for him as it gave him plenty of time to create music. Great. Lucky for all of us, as that began the most memorable career, 50 plus years of incredible music, touching each one of us along the way. And if that isn't enough, all right, success in the face of all those jocks, Dan, you look great. You're still hot, you're in shape, and you can outrun any one of them. All good. Determination, passion, empathy, and love, all great words and ideas that make up the fabric of a Dan Hill song. When you hear it, you know every word. You feel it, no matter how much time has passed. When I began songwriting, I was told the true greats write big songs by starting with a big idea. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. Well, there you go. There it is. So many performers wanting to sound as sensitive as Dan does have recorded their own versions of his hit, even a world champion boxer. But nobody does it better than Dan. Recognized around the world by just those words, it continues to touch us all in the biggest way. Now, not too many artists can say that they have one of those songs. Dan has many. And one final thought from me. Genuine in his kindness, his music, and his soul, Dan always treats you like you're the special one in the room, the one everyone wants to talk to, hang out with, be with, and that's just who you are. But it's you, Dan. You're the special one in the room. So now let's watch this video with some highlights from his amazing career.
If someone had told me at 20, when I had my first song on the radio, that 50 years later I would still be performing, I would have said, no, you're crazy.
There are voices that define an era, and then there are voices that transcend time. Few singer-songwriters have captured the depth of human emotion like Dan Hill. From heartfelt ballads to platinum records, from Juno wins to Grammy nods, Dan Hill has left an indelible mark on the world of music. It all started in a suburb of Toronto. While other kids were learning to walk, Dan Hill was listening to Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and Ray Charles as his dad filled the house with the smooth, sultry sound of black jazz.
I fell in love with my parents' record collection, so I would just literally lean against my dad's speakers, just sing along what I was hearing. And my whole concept of how life and love were, it came out of the lyrics of those songs.
Shaped by a family of intellect and activism, Dan channeled the power of the written word into songwriting, turning thoughts and emotions into music that instantly resonated. His singular vision and unwavering focus paid off, and at 21 years old, he released his first single, You Make Me Want to Be.
Make me wanna be a writer.
It was probably the most exciting sensation I'd ever experienced. You know, it was that earth-shattering for me.
Then, a love letter from the depths of Dan's heart would be reworked and refined as a new song that would become a global anthem. What started as a private confession filled the airwaves across the world.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much.
I started seeing this older woman. I just assumed that because we were together and we were spending nights together that she just wanted to be with me, but she didn't. And so over 2 days, I wrote Sometimes When We Touch as an attempt, a flailing attempt, to get her to reconsider me. So I played this to her over the phone, and then there's this sigh, and at the other end of the phone she said, Danny, did I ever tell you that for a 19-year-old, you're just way too intense? I did kind of feel that there was something in that song that was different. And so we had the work tape. People would listen to that tape and they would fall over. They said, that's the greatest song I've ever heard. But I'd never seen that kind of reaction to a song before. And so at that point I thought, okay, there's something going on here. I think this could be a big hit.
And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much.
Sometimes When We Touch would become a sensation, striking a chord with both men and women with its raw vulnerability and poetic honesty. It would become one of the most performed songs of all time, earning him multiple Juno Awards and a Grammy nomination for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. More than just a hit, it stands as a cultural touchstone.
It was a full-time job, just trying to stay afloat with all the demands of this song as it was taking over the entire world. It was a very strange process to see that happen. So it was a journey all into itself, because there had been no precedent, and I didn't know anybody who'd had that kind of success.
Dan continued to make his mark on the music world. He followed up with more hits, including the heartfelt duet, Can't We Try?
Can we try just a little bit harder? Can we give just a little bit more?
But after years on stage, Dan felt a stronger pull towards songwriting, penning chart toppers for some of the biggest names in country, R&B, and pop.
I do cherish you.
Eventually earning Dan a Grammy for his work as co-producer on Céline Dion's 1996 album, Falling Into You.
When you're performing, you're just playing songs you've already written, whereas when people want to cut your songs, they want to cut your new songs. So there's more emphasis on the brain, on writing, which I kind of preferred.
50 years on, Dan Hill remains as fearless in his songwriting as ever. Recent albums like Intimate and On the Other Side of Here capture the beauty and struggles of the world around him.
It felt more personal. I actually talked about my racial identity, maybe because I hadn't talked that much about it before. And even after I wrote it, I thought, no one's going to pay any attention to this song. And so I was quite shocked that it seemed to have a real impact.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Hill.
And impact is something he knows well, as few artists have left a mark as deep as he has. Now, Dan Hill takes his place in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, an exceptional artist whose music continues to stand the test of time.
Part of me is just absolutely stunned that I would get bestowed such an honor. I'm doing it because I really love doing it, and I feel a very deep appreciation that people still seem to like what I do.
And now the Canadian Music Hall of Fame welcomes Dan Hill.
Well, I'm really honored to be part of the 6 inductees tonight. They're all legends in their own way, so it's humbling for me to be a part of that. When I was first told that I was going to be inducted, I actually thought I was being pranked. I think partly because most of my hit singles as an artist managed to chart better in America than in Canada. And then when I shifted from singing my own hits to writing hits for others, very often the biggest artists were also Americans, which is all this to say that I was even more humbled and moved and thrilled that I was being inducted. I fell in love with Canadian singer-songwriters almost before I could talk. I mean, I learned about songwriting, performing from Gordon Lightfoot, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, Leonard Cohen. I mean, really the greatest singer-songwriters in the world. So to be part of this vaunted group is humbling, and thrilling, so thank you. And there's so many people I want to thank. My dear friend Andy Kim, my dear friend Beverley Mahood, my friend Nikki Harris, Ross Reynolds, Jeff Burns, okay, I'm going a bit too fast here, Tom Cross, all of you, and I'm afraid I've left some people out, in which case I'm deeply, deeply sorry. I'm really, I guess, better at singing than I am at talking. So that being said, I'm going to stroll over to my comfort zone now. Thank you.
You ask me if I love you, and I choke on my reply. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. And who am I to judge you on what you say or do? I'm only just beginning to see the real you. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. Wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. Wanna hold you till the fear in me subside. Romance and all the strategy leaves me battling with my pride. But through this insecurity, some tenderness survives. I'm just another writer, so trapped within my truth, a hesitant prize fighter, so trapped within my youth. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. Wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. Wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. At times I'd like to break you and drive you to your knees. At times I'd like to break through and hold you endlessly. And at times I understand you, and I know how hard you try. Oh, I've watched while love commands you, and I've watched love pass you by. At times I think we're drifters, so searching for a friend, a brother or sister. Then the passion flares again. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. Wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. Thank you so much. Thank you. Performing amazing. Such an honor to be here. Thank you.
What a song. What a song, Dan. You know, sometimes it's like, I think we can all agree, he's just writing our thoughts and bringing them to the world. You never really know, as a songwriter, where lyrics come from. Some lines take years to come, sometimes take 10 minutes, and you read them back and you realize they rhyme, and it's almost like you're channeling. It's like a visitation, and you feel foolish to take credit sometimes. If you're lucky, like tonight's honorees, some words become such a part of the culture that it feels like they must have always been there. Words like, let your backbone slide. Huh? Come on. Oh, I got more. Let it rip. No, I'll leave that to you. All right. All I need to say to you to fill in the first flood of memories is let your backbone slide, and you got it. You're right back in that place in time. I know that's the way that I feel too. The artist behind that line is best known as Maestro Fresh Wes. He's a rap pioneer and one of our most unique word stylists. And I have to say, you might not understand it, but an inspiration to me. So thank you, Maestro. And at the 2024 Junos, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Let's watch the highlights. Drop the needle!
Tonight we gathered to celebrate you.
The Godfather.
The Canadian rap prime minister.
The epitome of longevity.
My friend and my mentor. He is our first rap hero.
The godfather of Canadian hip-hop.
Maestro Fresh I wrote my first rhyme in 1979, and I never thought that in 1991 I'd receive the very first Juno Award for rap music. We created a backbone, and now this music we love won't ever be underestimated.
Call me a hip-hop tip-tactician.
Yeah. And now, to present our next inductee, I'd like to introduce a celebrated classical singer, another friend of mine. I'm so grateful to see her here tonight, acclaimed writer and passionate advocate whose faith and artistry have inspired audiences around the world. Please welcome to the stage, Measha Brueggergosman-Lee.
Hi guys, hi. Good evening. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. And I don't want to go too far off script, but I just love the list of people who are here. Maestro Fresh Wes performed at my 32nd birthday party in Gatineau. I was presented my YTV Achievement Award at Alan Frew and Glass Tiger were playing there. It's a way back playback. Ginette Reno was the artist that was played at my rehearsals for Chœur de Soulange, an Acadian choral group that I grew up singing, and I can't even say enough about thank you so much for having me be here. So, Loreena McKennitt. Guys, she's magical. And it's so incredible that I get to be here as she steps forward into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. I have admired her forever, and it's been a joy to share time together at special events and to meet on the road as proud Canadians who perform internationally. Beyond her monster musicianship, what I genuinely admire about this international star is how strongly committed she is to her own community of Stratford, Ontario. Loreena's voice is the passionate, intelligent canary in the coal mine, warning us of the erosion of our values in a changing Canada. Not only is her advocacy work, her music, and her voice extraordinary, we also hold her in awe as an artist who has brilliantly, wait for it, managed her own career. Girl, I just need you to help me figure out the 6,796 emails I have yet to respond to. Amen. She continues to create a path like no other. Audiences worldwide have cheered her spellbinding performances in Paris, Berlin, Istanbul, Sao Paulo, Sydney, and so many more. Her mesmerizing and moving music, they call it eclectic Celtic, has graced venues from London's Royal Albert Hall to the magnificent Alhambra in Granada, Spain, from Carnegie Hall to the 100th anniversary commemoration of the Battle of Vimy Ridge in northern France. Beloved in so many countries, she has sold more than 15 million records. Yeah, I'll clap for that. My heart claps for that. My heart, girl. I remember she and I were performing on Tom Jackson's Huron Christmas fundraiser. And when they called me, I said, I done saw that Loreena McKennitt is on the bill. Could you sit me as close to her as possible? I just want to like breathe the same air. And I went into the hall to watch the master work. It was my very own private performance, and it was honestly miraculous, seriously. I was so spellbound by her performance that at the end, when I reached up to touch my cheeks, I discovered that they were wet from tears I hadn't even remember weeping. On this very special occasion, it is with great pride, tremendous joy, and deep affection that I introduce the fearless and powerful ambassador of music and light, Loreena McKennitt.
Music chose me. I didn't choose it.
How does a storyteller create something that endures through generations? Is it the stories they tell or the way they tell them? For Loreena McKennitt, it's both, weaving history, melody, and emotion into a timeless sound with a trailblazing spirit. Loreena's journey didn't begin with grand ambitions of becoming a recording artist, but growing up in the prairie town of Morden, Manitoba, she was surrounded by music at every turn. At the age of 5, she began studying classical piano, placing the first bricks for the path that lay ahead.
It seemed like we were always preparing for music festivals or operettas or talent nights. Even though I've not gone on to perform in a classical sense, I can see where those lessons gave me the technique to express myself in the genre that I've gone on to do.
As a teenager and into her early 20s, Loreena's musical sensibilities were taking shape. Listening to folk singers like Joni Mitchell, Gordon Lightfoot, Tom Waits, and other gifted wordsmiths, she was inspired by the power of storytelling through song.
These were all very influential from the standpoint, they weren't creating songs that were overtly hit singles. It seemed that they were channeling something that was really an extension of themselves.
Soon, while working for her father in Winnipeg, Loreena was introduced to a sound that would steer her in a new direction.
I was exposed to a group of musicians and people who had a deep love of Celtic music. And we'd sing and play together. And I thought, wow, this Celtic music is something that I was instinctively drawn to.
After moving to Stratford, Ontario, Loreena saw a chance to take her music to the next level. Borrowing $10,000 from her parents, she recorded Elemental, her first album. She ran off 30 cassettes, tucked half of them away, and headed to Toronto.
I thought, well, maybe I'll go and busk at the St. Lawrence Market. I would play 20-minute sets, and then I'd stop and sell my cassettes and talk with people, and then I'd do the 20 minutes all over again. I remember being called up by Kenny Slater from Sam the Record Man and saying, we've got people coming in here asking for your music.
Propelling her forward, she would go on to release 2 more albums. Under her own record label, Quinlan Road, she took full command of her career on her own terms.
I didn't want my music to become distorted or shaped into something that would be foreign to me.
A licensing deal expanded Loreena's reach, paving the way for her breakthrough album.
Down she came and found a boat beneath the willow left afloat, and round about the prow she wrote, the Lady of Shallot.
Released in 1991, The Visit achieved remarkable success, certified 4 times platinum in Canada and selling over 1.4 million copies worldwide, connecting with audiences across cultures and continents.
I wanted to travel to as many places that those ancient Celtic tribes had been. And I started in the northwest corner of Spain and in Galicia and went to Spain, and that's what brought me to Morocco. But over the years, my travels would take me across Europe, into Greece, into Turkey. So all these journeys became inspiration for my work.
In 1997, Loreena released The Mummers Dance, a breakout hit across 4 radio formats: Celtic, folk, world, and dance, introducing millions of new fans to her music, solidifying her status as an international artist.
Fans in Lebanon,
I know.
in the Middle East. I love you so much.
It's humbling to travel the world and find people have connected with it. I've learned a lot from folks. A lot of them, frankly, if they lived close to me here, we'd probably be good friends.
As she continues to put out music, her audience grew, and so would her advocacy, championing for cultural preservation, musicians' rights, environmental sustainability, and other meaningful causes.
I think it goes back to Morden, Manitoba. I learned growing up there that the community is as strong as those people who are prepared to participate and help each other. And so I grew up with that sentiment.
Now, with her induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, Loreena McKennitt's legacy is officially recognized, not just for her musical achievements, but also for a career built on passion and integrity, serving as an inspiration for generations to come.
Please help me celebrate Loreena McKennitt.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to see if I can make this through this here now. Thank you, Measha. And my very grateful thanks to Alan Reid and everyone at Caras for this lifetime honor. There's a wonderful Lao Tzu saying that a good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving, and I think that kind of sums up my life to a T. I certainly didn't set out to have a career in music, nor did I want to do it without a manager, but I was told I was simply unmanageable. There's truth in that. Yes, I learned with humility that even though I wanted to be a veterinarian, music chose me rather than me it. And in the end, it's been an education I could never have received even at a university. It's carried me around the world and introduced me to so many beautiful human beings who have found a place for my music in their lives. And it's been a means of learning about other cultures and history, and how we're pretty much the same, that there's more to bind us together than separate us, that we long to be loved and yearn to belong. It's been fascinating to observe how, through the ages, music has been at the heart of the human experience, connecting one generation to the next, and how our souls come alive through communal singing, dancing, and playing. Certainly my childhood in the 1960s in Morden was deeply rich with music, even though my parents themselves weren't musical. This was a time before music became so intensely commodified as we continue to see in our digital era. I've often wondered if I were to start out today, could my career really have happened? And there are many days I think it wouldn't. The conditions for artists such as myself to have a lifelong, viable career are simply not present anymore. Fame and sometimes a paltry revenue from social media and streaming sites lift very few artists above the poverty line. Music in our homes and schools and communities through bands and choirs are struggling to compete with the dynamic digital devices in our children's hands. So it is with great gratitude that I acknowledge the very generous donation of musical instruments in my honor to the École New Era School in Brandon, Manitoba, through the partnership of Music Counts and the Lewitt Family Foundation. A few of us might be able to make a career of music. Yes, thank you, thank you. A few of us might be able to make a career of music, but even more deserving are the children, now and in the future, whose souls long to be enriched and connected through singing and playing music together. And with that in mind, I'd like to dedicate this honor to them. And finally, success is a collective effort. And I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to my family, some of whom are here tonight and drove in from Winnipeg, and remarkable music teachers along the way. Specific individuals who got me launched at the beginning of my career include Richard Flohill, Graham Henderson, Dave Tollington and Stan Coolin at Warner Music Canada, Peter Standish at Warner Brothers Records, my current partners at Universal Music, the musicians I will be playing with tonight, Brian Hughes, Hugh Marsh, and Caroline Lavelle. And last but not least, my colleagues Mark McCauley, Errol Fisher, Ian Blackaby, and Stacey Clark, all of whom I've worked with for more than 20 years. So thank you so very, very much again for this honor of a lifetime. I'm so deeply appreciated. Thank you.
Long fields of barley and of rye, the glow of the wind and me to the sky. Through the field the road run by, to many towered Camelot, and up and down the people go, gazing where the lilies blow, round an island there below, the island of Shallot. Flowing down to Qu'une, and by the moon the reapers weary, piling sheaves in our blood and zari, listening whispers, 'tis the fairy, the lady of Shallot. And day, a magical web of colors gay. She has heard a whisper say, a curse is on her if she stay, to look down to Camelot. She knows not what the curse may be, and so she weaves steadily. Little other care hath she, the lady. Ocean was night forever kneeled, too late in his shield, and sparkled on the yellow field beside remote Shallot. She left the web, she left the loom, she made 3 paces through the ground. She saw the water lily bloom, she saw the helmet and the plume. She looked to Camelot. Out through the web and floated wide, the mirror cracked from side to side. The curses come upon the crowd, the Lady of Shallot. In the stormy east wind straining, pale yellow woods were waning. The broad stream in his banks complain, heavily the low sky raining over down at Camelot. Down she came and found it beneath the willow, left afloat, and round about the prow Shallot, the Lady of Shallot. Who is this and what is here? In the light at Perilous near died the scent of royal cheer, and they crossed themselves for fear, the knights at Camelot. And Lancelot mused a little space. He said, she has a lovely face, God in his mercy lend grace. The Lady of Shallot.
Oh my, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much and congratulations. Incredible. Our next inductee is one of the most admired women and artists in the history of Quebec. Now, you need an icon to introduce an icon. So here to present our next inductee, welcome to the stage singer, songwriter, actor, and Juno Award winner, Roch Voisine.
Ginette. That's all you need to say. The name says it all. In Quebec, she is royalty. In Canada, she is our pride and joy. In the rest of the world, she's the legend. Ginette, tu es notre reine. Tu es notre fierté. Tu règnes depuis plus de, on le dit-tu, 66 ans. Tout le monde reconnaît ton talent, ta glorieuse carrière et ton charme unique. Tonight, Ginette, you are being awarded the Hall of Fame, the ultimate recognition of your massive impact everywhere for the last 66 years. From your early beginnings in Montreal's nightclubs, where as a young teenager you were already impressive, to your big record deal with Parrot Records in Los Angeles in the 70s. You became a star around the world. Ginette, you paved the way for all of us, and for that, we thank you. Ce soir, c'est à ton tour, ma chère Ginette. But first, let's take a look at your achievements.
I don't know how to say it in English, but in the Bible it says, on reconnaît un fruit, on reconnaît un arbre. We recognize the tree by the fruits that, and I've had a lot of fruits.
From her first notes on the streets of Montreal to sold-out international shows, Ginette Reno is a shining example of what happens when raw talent meets relentless passion. From humble beginnings, her voice was anything but. Growing up in a modest household, music was always an escape. And long before she became Quebec's golden voice, Ginette Reno found an audience in the most unexpected places.
I kept bugging people saying I'm going to be a great singer one day. So I started very early. I think at the age of 9, I knew 28 songs by heart. And because we were so poor, I would go and sing in variety stores, and they would give me 5 cents, a nickel.
Determined to pursue her dream, she didn't sit around and wait for opportunities. She created them. When a chance to impress nightclub impresario Jean Simon presented itself, Ginette found a way to make it happen.
I'm with my best friend, and she says there's an announcement in the journal saying that he does amateurs. I said, okay. She says, you should go. I said, I'm 13. He says, no, you look like you're 18, you know? So he says, are you a good singer? Oh, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. So he said, are you ready to start now? I said, yes, right now if you want to.
Their partnership was pure alchemy. After impressing Simone and then winning his well-known talent competition, he took her under his wing, guiding her to her first hit, Je me guide. Montreal's thriving nightclub scene gave Ginette the literal stage to grow as a performer. She followed Je me guide with No Papa, Roger and Bobby, establishing herself as a household name across Quebec.
Quebec people would write some great songs for me, so I had hits after hits.
Beautiful secondhand man.
Ginette would go on to dominate Canada's stages, earning widespread recognition, including multiple Juno wins.
This is important to me because it says two things. That you believe in me and my work, and that you challenge me to become the very best performer I can be.
She also made her mark internationally, performing all over the world, including the Olympia in Paris, the Savoy Theatre in London, and winning the 1972 Yamaha Music Festival in Tokyo.
When I received a medal, let's say, or a trophy, I would be very, very happy, very content. I just wanted to sing, you know, like every time I was on stage, I was home.
Ginette Reno! Show me a man that's got a good woman.
While captivating audiences and recording new music, she launches her own label, Melon Miel. Now with René Ongenil managing her career, she releases Je ne suis qu'une chanson.
I didn't want to put it on the album. And it's René. No, we're putting it on the album. She says, as a matter of fact, she says, the album is going to be titled that song. Are you crazy? I said, I sing this song on stage. It's not a record song, you know? And then it became Je ne suis qu'une chanson.
Je ne suis qu'une chanson.
Angelil's advice proved monumental, as it didn't just become a hit, it would be certified 3 times platinum, and would become her most iconic and enduring song.
I believe in what I do. When I sing my songs, I know what I'm singing about. But I've never sang a song so real in my life. There's some songs that they are magic.
In 2008, Ginette joined Céline Dion on stage before 250,000 people to celebrate Quebec's 400th anniversary. In this rare moment, Ginette's presence honored the province's musical legacy, uniting two legendary voices in one unforgettable performance.
Surtout à la fin, Ginette Reno avec elle.
Ginette Reno à la fin, c'est quelque chose. Ça fait dresser les poils.
I would have liked to last an hour, you know, sing with her. It lasts only like 4 or 5 minutes.
And here again is Ginette Reno.
When I look at all back, I look at what I did, all that I've become, but all that I've studied, my evolution, I say, you've done something in life, you know? You've achieved something. So I must have done something right.
With over 60 albums in both French and English, Ginette Reno has built a remarkable music career and earned some of the country's highest honors. Now her journey from singing for Spared Change to icon status is recognized with her induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame.
Before we invite you up, Ginette, we have a special surprise for you.
Ginette. Ma chère Ginette, c'est à ton tour. The golden voice of Quebec. C'est ainsi qu'on t'appelle from coast to coast. Une voix en or, unique et puissante, vibrante et inimitable. Une voix qui a bercé ma jeunesse et m'a donné l'envie de faire ce métier. Et quand je t'ai vu chanter à la Place des Arts, j'ai commencé à rêver que peut-être que moi aussi un jour je serai sur scène. You're a living legend whose enduring passion and timeless artistry have inspired generations. You are indeed one of the greatest inspirations of my life. I actually met Renee because my parents wanted me to meet with the manager of the great Ginette Reno. In fact, he always told me, "You are the best singer in the world." Je me souviendrai toujours de ce moment incroyable où nous avons chanté un peu plus haut, un peu plus loin, ensemble, sur les plaines d'Abraham, lors du 400e anniversaire de la ville de Québec. To be on the same stage with you and Jean-Pierre Ferland was such a career highlight for me. There was not a dry eye in the audience, including me. You are truly a national treasure and a symbol of our cultural pride. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. You are now in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, as you have been in our hearts forever. Cet honneur rejaillit sur le pays tout entier et sur le Québec en particulier, qui t'embrasse et qui t'aime et qui t'aimera toujours. Félicitations. Je t'aime.
Mesdames et messieurs, Madame Ginette Reno.
Thank you so much. Oh, I got goosebumps all over. Oh, God. We say in French, c'est deux pour un. Roch and Céline, you know? No, I wish I was 20 years younger. I don't know if I miss style. I don't know. Maybe I am. Anyways. You know, I am a singer. I have been singing for 66 years. And honestly, I didn't sing for glory, success, or money. And tonight, I'm shaking inside. I'm so honored and so privileged because I feel I belong. Thank you. I felt so much I was an imposter. So I just want to say how grateful I am. And thank you very much. J'ai le verbe être, je suis une chanteuse, je chante depuis 66 ans. Et j'ai jamais chanté pour la gloire, le succès ou l'argent. Mais ce soir, avec cet honneur, c'est vraiment un sentiment d'appartenance. Il y a non seulement une femme en moi en ce moment qui est très fière, mais il y a une petite fille qui a tellement de gratitude. Alors, merci beaucoup. Merci. Merci. Je vais essayer d'aller chanter. Tonight, I want to tell you who I am. I want to share this song with you and hope that you will understand. This love inside of me is just for you. Tonight, in dreams or in reality, with all the prayers inside of me, even though I've come to the end, tonight I know exactly where I stand. For all I am is just a song that keep on playing even when I'm gone, with all the passion and all the pain. I sing the sunshine and the rain. For all I am is just a song. I laugh and cry, my feelings are so strong. In every verse I still belong. I give you all I held so long. Ce soir, je ne me suis pas épargné. Toute ma vie, je l'ai racontée, comme si ça ne se voyait pas. Que la pudeur en moi n'existe pas. Ce soir, au rythme de mes fantaisies, je vous ai fait partager ma vie. En rêve ou en réalité, ça n'en demeure pas moins la vérité. Mais moi, je ne suis qu'une
je me suis fait l'amour de mon mieux. Mais moi je ne suis qu'une chanson, ni plus ni moins qu'un morceau de passion. Appelez-moi marchande d'illusions. Je donne l'amour comme on donne la raison. Mais moi, je ne suis qu'une chanson. Je ris, je pleure à la moindre émotion. Avec mes larmes ou mon rire dans les yeux, je vous ai fait l'amour de mon mieux.
How amazing was that? Incredible. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ginette Reno. And a special shout out to Pascalin, who joined his mom on stage for that incredible performance. Wow. Sum 41 made history this March in Vancouver, blowing the doors off the Junos with a majestic final performance. That same night, they were inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Their performance and induction was presented by Juno's premier sponsor, TD Bank Group. Sum 41 may be hanging up their skates for now, but their music continues to pack a punch. Let's watch some highlights from an amazing career.
The Sum 41 story is anything but a simple one.
These guys have fans everywhere in the world. It helped them survive all the pitfalls that normally end a band.
They were fun, they were wild, and you could tell right away that they were going to be huge.
They had that thing, man. They just have it.
They're very, very good on the mic.
Look at everything you've done.
Somehow we managed to play a few hundred shows a year and sell 15 million albums.
It's about being the best band that you can be.
What an honor. Please welcome Sum 41.
Because when we started, we were 4 young teenagers who could barely play our instruments, but we believed in ourselves. Forget who you think you are, and always just be who you really are. Thank you all so much.
Wow, so good. Yeah. And now, to induct our final honoree, it's my great pleasure to introduce a friend, a true original, critically acclaimed Juno Award-winning songwriter, producer, recording artist, and entertainer, Johnny Reid.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. As you can see, I got the memo. Good evening. It's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight and to be joining you all to celebrate our very own Glass Tiger. I met Alan Frew at the Juno Awards in Newfoundland many years ago. We were introduced by a mutual friend who said, Johnny, Alan, Johnny, I think you might have a few things in common. I said hello, Alan said hello, and for that moment on, we've been dear pals. To this day, he still introduces me as the second best Scottish singer in Canada. I'll take it. I've also had the great fortune of getting to know Sam, Al, and the entire Tiger team over the years. These guys are a lot of things. They have achieved so many things. But at the heart of Glass Tiger, you will find friendship, respect, trust. It's what this whole thing was built on. And maybe a few pints of Guinness along the way as well. Sometimes we hear a song that takes us back to a certain time and place. One of the songs for me is My Town. Every time I hear My Town, I'm instantly transported back to Brampton, Ontario. I know. A young teenage Scottish immigrant searching for identity in this new promised land, hoping to hear something familiar just coming through my speakers. Sure enough, I found a wee piece of home in Canada through the music of Glass Tiger. If I could go back in time and tell my younger self that I'd be standing here tonight, helping honour these guys for their incredible contributions to Canadian music, I would not believe it. A full circle moment for me. Ladies and gentlemen, to know them is to love them, and to love them is why we are here tonight. So let's take a look back at the long tour bus ride they took to get here.
They invited me up for an audition, and I sang for them, and they agreed that they'd like me to be the lead singer.
What would you do if they turned you down?
Oh, I would just told them to fuck off.
From catchy anthems to heartfelt ballads, Glass Tiger carved out a legacy in the 80s, with their songs continuing to resonate, defining a sound, an era, and a generation. It all began in 1984 in Newmarket, Ontario, when 5 musicians, Alan Frew, Sam Reid, Al Connolly, Wayne Parker, and Michael Hansen, came together with a vision to create a fresh, synth-infused rock sound that would take the world by storm.
I was in a band called Onyx, and another band comes along that Sam was in called The End.
I remember hearing about this great singer, and I knew Alan's brother-in-law, and he says, man, he sounds like Paul McCartney. And I'm going, oh my God, he sounds better than Paul McCartney.
As the newly formed band Tokyo, they ignite a buzz, packing local venues, and major labels take notice, leading to an opening slot for Boy George in front of 17,000 fans. By Monday morning, the phone rings.
My mother came to the room and said, there's somebody on the phone. And I just went, hello, and this voice said, you're a star. And I went, what? He said, you're a star.
The band rehearsed in my mom and dad's living room. So they were pretty happy as well to make sure that, she didn't have to make grilled cheese sandwiches anymore.
And then the invite to go down to Capitol, and I said to myself, this feels real. It's really happening.
A new chapter demanded a new name, and after a little debate, their journey would continue as Glass Tiger. Their very first album, The Thin Red Line, exploded onto the scene in 1986. It wasn't just a hit, it would make history, becoming the fastest-selling debut album in Canadian music, with juggernaut singles like Someday and Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone.
Don't forget me when I'm gone. Got invited to go to Vancouver to work with Jim Vallance. And on the very, very first day, we wrote 2 songs. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone and Someday, on that very first day.
When we finished it, are you excited? Is it good? And I remember him just kind of snapping his fingers going, yeah, it's good, it's good. And then when it came out, I remember Tim calling saying, hey, you better get some sleep because your life's about to change.
With the release of their very first single, the calls start pouring in and the numbers keep growing. And before long, it goes platinum, shattering expectations and eventually surpassing 1 million copies sold worldwide. As Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone climbs to #1 on the charts, Glass Tiger sets their sights on breaking into the U.S.
Well, the big carrot is definitely the U.S. I mean, when you're a Canadian band, you love to have success in your own country. But it's a great feeling to transport that out of your country.
In 1986, Glass Tiger receives multiple Juno Award nominations, going on to win Most Promising Group of the Year, Single of the Year, and Album of the Year.
We went up against Corey Hart and Platinum Blonde and Bryan Adams, and to win the two of them, that was heavy, for sure. It was a big moment.
It's the highest achievement in music in the country, and it set us up for the next stage of our career.
Soon the band receives a Grammy nomination for Best New Artist, catapulting their success to new heights. Their momentum was unstoppable, having already toured with Journey and now touring across Europe with the legendary Tina Turner, bringing their powerhouse performances to even bigger audiences.
How's everybody feeling tonight? All right!
Through the 90s and into the 2000s, Glass Tiger continues to release new music, proving their versatility beyond the Thin Red Line. Follow-up albums Diamond Sun and Simple Mission delivered hits like I'm Still Searching and My Town, keeping them a staple on rock and pop radio. But the true mark of a great band isn't just their chart success, it's their long-lasting impact. And after 4 decades in the industry, their connection with fans remain as strong as ever.
There's people that come up to you, they tell you that song it's like the soundtrack of their life, that they really enjoyed it. You know, those are the types of things you just don't see every day.
Without the audience, without the fans, none of it happens. And we've been very, very fortunate to have really true, loyal fans through the years. And I think of our families that have watched us go out that front door time and time and time and time again. And so it's the ultimate payoff to say Dad's in the Hall of Fame.
I cannot tell you what an honor it is for me personally to be the one to invite Glass Tiger into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Come on, boys.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this incredible honor. Thank you, Johnny. You know, it's so wonderful for you to be able to present us with this. We have such a great history. And I hear you have a fancy studio in Nashville, too. We got to get down there and record with you again. But, you know, there's a saying that if you love the work you do, you'll never feel like you worked a day in your life. And I'd like to add another little line to that as if you love the work you do and you have the incredible fortune to do it with a bunch of individuals that feel the same way about it, it doesn't get any better than that. And you blink and 40 years goes by, and here we are. And it's just incredible to be standing here at this moment. We're all going to say a few words, so I'll cut to the chase here a little bit. We just did 30 shows across Canada, so we're still touring. And that's awesome. I'd like to acknowledge some of the people that are on this journey with us. Incredible voice Carmela Long and Tommy Lewis, who tour with us, and our crew, and our incredible manager, Andrew Turner and Enlightened Management for putting us on the road and keeping this dream running a little longer. And I'm going to just say one quick shout out because I think I own the 4th row in this place. It's the entire Reid family in here. It's incredible. You know, all my kids are here, Justin and Brendan and Kira and Ayla, and my daughter-in-laws, Amanda and Vicky. My brother and sisters here, my cousins are here, and my beautiful wife, Carol's here, who let me walk out the door every day to do the stuff that we do, and she keeps the fires going at home and keeps the lights on, and thank you very much for that. I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Connolly.
Okay. There's yours. Thank you, Sam. It's truly a pleasure to be included here tonight with such distinguished Canadian artists. Congratulations to Dan, Loreena, Ginette, Sum 41, Maestro Fresh Wes, as well as to my fellow bandmates Quickly, I'm also very proud to be able to say that my 3 sons are here from all across the country and say hello to all the family, the clan across the country. 40 years ago, we set out on a journey to be a Canadian recording act. There was a daring proposition. With crazy odds, it worked. We got noticed by labels, and we got a deal. It's important also to point out that many people had shared the experience of our journey. Some eventually took different paths. Some eventually new participants, and some mentors and crew we sadly lost along the way. Wayne, I'll let you take it.
Oh, thank you, Al. Yes, oh, thank you, yes. Yes, we are. I think you might have gathered from what they said, we've been a family, really. We're a family band. We're very lucky for that, aren't we? I don't know if all bands are like that, but we've been a family, and for almost 50 years now, 10 years before we were ever recording, we were Roadhogs, playing every Queen's hotel across Ontario and northern Quebec. And when the band first got together, and by the way, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Lorelei. She wanted to be here so much tonight, but she suffers from Lyme disease. And she tried so hard to be here. She's a warrior, but she couldn't make it. And also I'd like to thank Tom, who, because I stay home being my wife's caregiver, he goes out on the road with the band and has stood in for me for almost a decade now. So thank you very much. He's a fantastic bass player. He plays my parts really well. But in those years when we first started, I don't know why, but I took on a lot of the managerial, unlike Loreena. We needed help. I said, guys, we're going to need some professional help and a good manager. And we found a small outfit in Toronto named Management West International, Gary Pring and Joe Bamford, and they became our surrogate parents, you might say. Yes. Our stepfathers and wonderful, wonderful human beings. We lost Gary, unfortunately, many years ago, decades ago. But Joe, I'm very happy to say, or Fudge as we call him. Fudge. We won't tell you what that stands for, but you might be able to figure it out, I'm not sure. But anyway, Joe is very happy in retirement now. And after that, of course, we had during the same time, we took us around the world, Derek Sutton, wonderful man. And later, in the early 2000s, we have to have a shout out for Rod Knight. And like the other artists, we could spend an hour listing all the people who've been there for us, our families, our friends. Shout out to Aurora and Newmarket, where we started. Notice I said Aurora first, guys? Yeah, I see that. I'm the Aurora member from the band. As I like to say, Newmarket. But anyway, that's a sports thing. I'm going to pass it on. See, people say you're the only one in the band who doesn't sing, and I say they pay me extra not to sing. And the same thing with mics. Once you get me on here, I'm sorry, I better stand aside now because I'll keep going all night. Grab a sheet. So yes. Grab a sheet. Grab a sheet. Give me that sheet. See? All right. Thank you.
You know, it's funny, like when Sam said we're like family, we are. Like, we still have breakfast together and we go to the pub together. And I just thought of a night when I crossed the street and they were doing the karaoke. No, it's okay, it's clean. They were doing the karaoke and they put Someday. Do you remember this? They put Someday up, and I thought, okay, I'll sing it. And a woman came up to me and told me to shut up because I didn't sound like the guy from Glass Tiger. I've just got some thank yous here. First and foremost, and I know numerous people in this room will remember our beloved Dean Cameron. Dean, yes. We lost Dean way too soon, but Dean, I want to thank you, pal, what you meant to us. His counterpart, Tim Trombley, so they're both of them from Capitol Records. A gentleman who's here tonight, he looks like a Highlander. His name's Steve Kane, in the Warner family, who took us under their wing. Thank you. Tom Kemp and Jordan Powley from the Feldman Agency. Alan Reid and all the family at Caris, thank you so much. My pal, Johnny, you got to do something about the trousers, pal. That's... I love Johnny so much. Yeah. Johnny Reid.
Check the price tag.
If I may, I mentioned a little bit in the video what our families have been, what they put up with. A lot of people don't realize, like, they just think, yeah, you're just in a band and
you take off and you do your thing. But my boy, Gavin, he grew up in among the madness and watched his daddy walk out the door time and time again. My daughter, who's Evan, who's only 20, who I swore I would stop this shit and become a dad at home. All she's ever done is watch me walk out the door. And my beloved wife, Marcy, who was the rock behind all of this. And they watch you go time and time again. We've missed graduations. We've missed weddings. We've missed birthday parties. And it's just the way it is. So I want to thank my beloved family for supporting me through all this stuff. So thank you. Thank you very much. A wee special moment. I mentioned on the video, some people have come up and said, why is it taking so long to get in the Hall of Fame? And life and fate are geared to align at the right time. And 40 years ago, today, we arrived at the Vancouver airport and we were picked up by one of the most amazing songwriters this country has ever produced, Mr. Jim Vallance. And Jim took us to his place. We made a wee cup of tea, and it was 40 years ago today that we wrote "Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone" and "Someday." So very serendipitous and meant. Last but not least, the fans. Where would we be? I mean, some 41, and Loreena and Dan and Ginette would tell us, if the fans are not out there supporting you and coming out to see you play, you look pretty stupid on a stage in an arena with nobody. So to the Glass Tiger fans, we love you so much. Thank you for all your support. And this is an incredible honor. Thank you so much.
Performing a medley of Diamond Sun, Sunday, and Don't Forget Me, here is Glass Tiger. Incredible. Please join me in thanking all of tonight's artists and musicians. Didn't they all sound incredible? So good. Yeah. Of course, I'd love to thank the entire team here at Studio Bell, home of the National Music Center, for hosting this outstanding event. Incredible. Thanks so much. Our friends at CBC Music, Music Canada, Tourism Calgary, all are excellent sponsors, and the brilliant, tireless staff of Keras. Thank you so much. In case you didn't know it yet, the Canadian Music Hall of Fame is a very real place right here in this building. And if you haven't had a chance to visit the National Music Center yet, well, you should. You should be Alberta bound. Good night, everybody.